If you ever had friends working in consulting, you probably met with them once a year. A typical workdays of those folks can reach up to 70 or 80 hours per week, which equals 10 to 11 hours per day without weekends. Can you imagine that? Also, people in consulting and investment banking are an extreme example here. They're not the only ones, as videos about hustle culture are getting insane amount of views on YouTube. So it is really interesting to dive deeper and think why people volunteer to work 70 to 80 hours per week and how to not get into such a situation yourself. Hi everyone, my name is Alena, and on this channel we talk about happy and healthy financial and lifestyle habits. Make sure to subscribe to get inspiring videos on these topics. Today I want to talk about the main reasons for overtimes, in my opinion, namely the devilish mixture of low self-esteem and high ambitions. First, we'll briefly discuss what contributes to our self-esteem, and then we'll talk about where our career aspirations can lead us. When I was preparing the material for this video, I found a very clear formula describing what self-esteem is by William James. In 1890, James stated that our self-esteem equals our results divided by our goals, our values, and what we think about our potential. It turns out if you are a beginner with mediocre results X, but your goals are, for example, large and ambitious 2x, you consider yourself promising, namely 2x as well, and you have high values X, then your current self-esteem is much lower than 1. In simple terms, your self-esteem is low when your aspirations are higher than your results. Try to calculate this formula for yourself and share in the comments what is your self-esteem now. And also please share if you agree or disagree that this formula could be valid. Low self-esteem itself is not a problem, but there are consequences of this low self-esteem, and let's discuss them. A person with low self-esteem believes that others are better than him, often experiences fear, self-doubt, and anxiety, experiences a lot of fear of failure, have difficulties accepting positive feedback, have troubles saying no, and setting personal boundaries. For example, I have low self-esteem because my ambitions greatly exceed my results. I'm still learning how to regulate my ambitions, and I will tell you about certain techniques I use later in this video. Now let's think about what happens to people with low self-esteem who find themselves in a highly competitive environment in a corporation. A person with low self-esteem falls into the environment where people have high ambitions and big goals. His ambitions begin to average out with the environment, and he begins to actively try to bridge the gap between his new ambitions and his current results. What does this lead to? In a huge number of work hours per day, anxiety, stress, and sometimes nervous tick. Can you imagine people working from 60 to 8 hours per week? They stay late up until 3 a.m. They work without any weekends. Unfortunately, I know a lot of such stories among my friends and acquaintances who are from 23 to 27 years old. Typically, this style of work is common in such consulting companies like McKinsey, PwC, Ernst & Young, and so on. But again, why do people voluntarily agree to such torture at work? First, working in these companies is considered to be a career lift. Those who have worked for a few years in consulting are eagerly accepted to other companies. Because these people are often like machines to achieve results, they are very well trained, and when they enter a new environment, they start spreading this toxic culture of overtimes into other corporations. But corporations provide a lot of workplaces, so probably you shouldn't say no to working in a corporation, but rather try to learn how to deal with your low self-esteem in a highly competitive environment. I will share my personal observations and tips. If we remember the self-esteem formula, in the numerator we have results, and in the denominator we have ambitions, goals, and values. First, you need to learn to regulate your ambitions. Everywhere they say you can go faster, higher, stronger, you can become a billionaire, you can change the world, and so on. But in fact, it's so easy to set others' goals to yourself. It's really easy to set impossible goals to yourself. But such goals will most likely lower your self-esteem. and lead to a decent decrease in self-confidence. The real art is to understand what you yourself really want and set yourself ambitious enough but still realistic goals. But how to do it, how to set those realistic goals? I struggled with it before I learned this technique. Imagine your best month. You wake up every day feeling refreshed, energetic, you have a really positive mindset, and everything goes really smoothly. What could you achieve in this month? What could you achieve in this most favorable set of circumstances? Now imagine a month where everything goes wrong. What is the best that you can achieve under these circumstances? Your optimal goals are somewhere in the middle between your first and second boundaries. Make sure to like this video if you think that this idea of calibrating your goals could work for you. Secondly, in order not to fall into the trap of slave labor in corporations, you need to work on creating an adequate perception of yourself. Answering the following 2 questions regularly can really help this. First question, how do you contribute to the overall result? And the second question, what percentage of the outcome can you really influence? For example, I used to take full responsibility for the result of the whole team, but this is kind of self-deception and illusion of grandeur. I am part of the team and I help my team achieve the result with the help of my contribution. But I cannot take the whole team into my fists and decide everything for everyone. In my opinion, honest answers to these 2 questions can help you form adequate self-perception. At least for me, it is starting to work. And I seem to be a lot less stressed at work and stop spending 10 hours on my computer. Thank you very much for watching this video till the end. Work on your self-esteem, develop professionally, and calibrate your ambitious goals against reality. Please like this video if you found it helpful and subscribe to my channel for more tips on happy and healthy living.